all three different times. It's
6 minutes.
that must be.
Now, back in the school, Valley Center High School days, whenever Mr. Wooden was the driver's ed teacher, he says, look, you can have a different clock on at home and you can have a clock in your mama's car. When you walk through this door, you look at that clock and that's Wooden time. That's the time you go by.
There you go. There we go. Okay. And it has seemed to have just stopped.
What stopped?
It's still at 6. Oh, nope, just turned 6. So, 6 o'clock, let's start the meeting of the Public Properties and Outdoor Spaces Board. So, let me call the roll. Larry? Andy?
Yes.
Tina?
Here.
Ray?
Yes.
Roger? Yes. And Jordan? Okay, it said it is 6 o'clock. Everybody look over the agenda. If you see any additions or corrections that need to be done. If not, I will ask for a motion to accept. And I will second. Any discussion? Okay. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Check out the minutes. Neil handed them out. I think he sent these out last week.
Yep.
So you should have read them by then.
Yeah.
And
It's enough time. Whatever Neil does, it gives us enough time. At least
Yeah.
it gives me enough time.
Yeah, absolutely.
okay. So I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes from February 8th.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Public forum. Anybody here? Anybody online? Okay.
Just a
Seeing
quiet
none,
crowd.
we'll move on. Old business. Okay, project updates and discussion. A, election of officers, chair, vice chair, and secretary. I did not receive any suggestions, so I guess we're open for nominations.
I will point out that at the last meeting, y'all voted to table this until we had the full group here.
Full group, yes.
Oh, well,
that's-
okay.
That's a point of discussion.
Then, I don't
Really
like
thought you
this
read
at
the
all.
notes, Roger.
Jordan.
Had the quorum here, so I think we ought to go.
I think we should too. So are you telling me there were no nominations that were made?
It was chosen to table it until next time, but nobody has submitted anything.
No one has submitted any, because we were supposed, and I know I didn't. I get that. But
They submitted some for you, though.
they better not.
All in favor?
No. But so we have no nominations right now?
Nothing at this point, yes.
No.
Okay.
So what's the consensus here? Do we go ahead and have elections? Because
I think, I mean, it appears to me who's here tonight has been consistently who's been here tonight, right? And I think if we string this out much longer,
Yeah.
then we don't have truth in journalism and you are still the chair of the board. So, so would we entertain a nomination from the floor from us tonight? I mean, could we do that?
When I spoke with Neil, I thought I did mention either myself, but I don't want to nominate myself,
Sure.
or someone else.
We
may have
did
not
have
caught it.
discussion.
It was quick, Neil,
Yeah.
last time I talked to you, but I still think we need everybody here, and I think we need the other position filled as well, but that's just my personal opinion. If that's 2 more meetings, it's 2 more meetings.
Can you get them here?
Well,
I mean, because I would just as soon say, I nominate you as chair and you as vice chair, and that's it. I mean, that's what I would say. And if you want me to serve as secretary, as long as you still take the minutes, I can serve as secretary, period. I'm fine with that. And if you have a
Second.
quorum and you want to do it, I'm fine with that. The only difference in the chair and vice chair are you guys need to have executive session to set the agenda. That's the only extra work. So if you guys are willing to work with Neil to set the agenda, that's your extra work.
I don't know.
Other than that, you just run the meetings.
There's a time and a place, but
And then I'm, all of the secretary is, unless Roger, unless you want to be secretary, you can be secretary.
No, thank you. I'm still trying to write with the hand that's.
You know. So, but, and then the only role of the secretary is just to be the official keeper of the record, which means Neil does it and I approve it, and that's it. But that's just so that you have somebody on record that from the board that says, yes, these are the minutes and they were approved. That's it. I would be fine with that, but I would make a motion for that, or I don't know how we do that. Yes, make a motion. I need a second.
I second. Well, there is a motion on the floor that Andy is the chair and Ray is the vice chair and Tina's the secretary.
I personally like that down there because that helps Neil with any errors or, hey, we forgot this. or whatever.
Covering.
Just
Correct,
it's that
covering,
extra
yeah.
backup. Yep, yep.
Any other discussions? Because I like it all personally.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that would really help the board continue and even get some more energy going into it. Maybe we can get a few more people that will be here all the time, like you guys. So, any other discussions?
We are trying to fill Jordan's spot, correct?
or is it Jonathan? JJ.
JJ, I mean, JJ,
Uh-huh.
JJ, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
But we have motion on the floor.
Yeah.
We do.
Okay, any other discussions? Okay, so,
Second.
I second.
Here it
You
is.
did?
That's why we went into discussion.
So, any other discussion, no other discussions? Do we need to have a secret ballot or, okay, just a show of
Go
hands?
hands.
Okay, all in favor, raise your hand. All opposed, same. Congratulations.
There we go. Thank you for your service, both of you. You guys have been very dedicated. Roger, obviously, I'm sorry, that's a hard, those are hard shoes to fill.
Yeah.
It's
Those are
tough.
very hard shoes to fill.
In fact, do you want to see now?
Yeah.
No, I'm
I'll
okay.
let you have
I'll
it.
let you hang on one more time.
Oh,
But I really feel like that the two of you have been very dedicated to the mission of the group, and I think that you will do a great job carrying it forward.
yes, I do
Yeah,
too.
yeah,
Here,
thank you.
here, here. Okay. Yeah. Okay, playground equipment, park
This is,
amenity
this
survey.
is your most favorite, it's got to be your most favorite board meeting that you get to go to. It's got to be.
Well, nobody's after him on this board, so.
You just get to sit back and enjoy it. May not be the sales tax subcommittee by far.
That was a good one. Just a subcommittee.
I was gonna
Yeah,
say.
that was a sub, so this is.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, we digress.
Playground equipment survey. Did you have a decent amount of,
Yes, I
Response?
received input from Andy, Ray, and Larry.
I was gonna say, not me, I didn't do it.
And then what I did is came up with this document that's in front of you. I'll, that's why I have an extra. Essentially, we kind of grouped up, I used the model of one of the surveys and grouped up what you guys had kind of selected as your priorities and tried to just kind of knock some of the redundant ones down where they, so that some of the questions that you guys came up with or suggested, I, either eliminated them because they were redundant or whatever, and tried to combine them to make them, tailor them a little bit more for our purposes. Our goal here tonight is to go through them and neck them down even further, slice, dice, add to. It's, I don't know, as surveys go, this may be a little long, lengthy. Posts out there, Brent, thoughts too? I welcome it, but for a Survey Monkey type survey, is this too long? I want people to participate in this for the play, our parks and playgrounds and site amenities and stuff like that, but we don't want them to lose interest just looking at it and say, oh my gosh.
I've got a question on Survey Monkey. If someone gets into Survey Monkey and they look at this and they start going and all of a sudden, yeah, it is too long. But they answer the first three, but they don't answer the rest. Is that automatically saved? Or do they
I
have
think
to?
you actually have to submit it.
I think you do have to
if
submit
I'm
it,
not
yeah.
mistaken, Before you.
Not that I think 8 questions is very long or whatever we have on here, Neil. I think that's
Well, they're kind of grouped in categories, so
Yeah,
count
yeah.
the A, B, C, D.
okay. I see. Okay.
So there's
A few more than that.
I guess it's
probably close to 30 or so.
Yeah.
When it comes down to it. But it mirrors closely to some of the other surveys that we looked at. If you heard that, when you try to capture different categories, I mean, I'm open to suggestions. So again, the main goal, the main focus here is to try to capture information about our goal to replace playground equipment and evaluate our site amenities at our playgrounds. That's kind of the main thrust. Some of the surveys questions got off on tangents that were good information, but not necessarily things we want to find out about at this point in the game.
I think you could do a survey and a sub-survey.
Okay.
Because you have 2 sections in here. Section 3 and Section 5 are both on playground equipment, and not everyone uses playground equipment. So you can, because you have your question in number 1 where it says, how often do you and your family utilize playground equipment? If they select, yes, we use the playground equipment, then they could be eligible to then complete a secondary. And then they don't have, what?
Or it bumps down to,
Yeah.
Like a flow chart
It's
type
just at
thing?
the end.
Yeah.
So then you get everybody, and then you say, would you be willing to complete a survey about playground equipment? And then they do that part.
Yeah.
And then that way you get the consistency of the same questions. Because I mean, my kids are old. They don't use playground equipment anymore. So I'll get bored during those sections.
Good.
But there's a lot of people that are really passionate about it.
Especially the parks, yeah, 'cause you obviously get a lot of exercise and outside time at the park. So yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
yeah, that sounds, is that doable with a Survey Monkey?
People love SurveyMonkey. It's
Oh,
the
I fill
stupidest
them.
thing.
I fill them out all the time. I
Yeah.
just don't know how they work. So come to save.
It is. Yeah. But I know that like Kansas Leadership Center and Myers-Briggs, they do that frequently where they'll have like a survey and then you complete it and at the end it says, because you selected this, that shows you have an interest in this, would you be willing to fill out a second one? And then it's the more detailed information. So there's different ways to do it.
I'm all ears, yes.
That sounds great.
Neil, was this in our packet to review? When you emailed it?
No.
Okay.
No.
I would like to have some time to review it and then maybe get back with you again. Is that kind of what you were thinking anyway?
That's you guys' call.
Yeah.
I'm happy to do that.
Well, was there a timeline when we needed to get this out to, I mean, since it's getting springtime, I was wondering, do we give them a month or two, people be outside and enjoy the parks, and then we get them with a Survey Monkey?
Well, that's
Good call.
Probably not a bad idea, yeah.
Is there a certain deadline we need this as well?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
We're not looking to replace the equipment right away.
Okay.
This is trying to build some information for the future. This is probably a 3 to 5 year plan.
To see one replaced first, right, as it comes available.
Build some consensus and have some information back requested to the CIP. And the CIP, we could be put into a cycle of how far back, depending on other projects in the city that we're going to be competing against. Some rationale behind the project. I mean, I think there actually is some placeholder, if I'm not mistaken, for playground equipment, but when it actually comes up on the list high enough, then we want to suggest that it needs to time frame for the council. We need to be able to have some our information.
Okay, well, so it sounds like we need to, or we can look at this and then if, when we have a meeting next week, next month, bring it back and,
Do you have a resident Survey Monkey expert with the city that can help you to create it?
I have staff that have done it before, but I don't. Is that Christie, or is it you, Brent, or is it, who is,
Okay, there you go.
if we just kind of come up?
Could it be expanded though for just not citizens of Valley Center? Because I know there's people that travel outside of the city for the splash pads.
Fill out a box and say, do you live within or?
I mean, I'm just throwing things out, Brent. I know you're taking notes, so, but it'd just be good to get more information.
And just, but you gotta remember that your citizenry is the ones that are gonna be financing this through their sales tax dollars. So
Okay.
your focus, I think, should be on those that are gonna be paying for it.
Fair enough. Yep.
You know, that's my opinion.
okay, so for the May meeting, we will discuss this even a little further, maybe finalize questions.
I love your idea about allowing people the chance to use the parks first.
I think
Yeah,
that,
real good idea.
Yeah, I love that idea. You could send it out like the first week of June.
Sure.
Yeah.
Or it's too hot to use the parks.
any other old business? Okay. Any more questions about this, I guess I should say?
Get back with Neil maybe, a week or so before he does the meeting minutes.
That would be great. Let's look
Kinda
at
like we
kind of
did
some
last time.
dates. Yeah, real quick.
When they sent out the Survey Monkey for the Aquatic Center, what was the response on that?
Really good response.
Okay.
Was it like 1,200? It was
Oh,
a lot.
Okay,
I
good.
don't remember. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Looking for something to do.
a lot of response
Yeah.
there.
We also sent out across the school district boundaries, so I'm not.
Yeah, yeah.
Group of, we might actually use, forwards.
Survey Monkey, yeah.
When you generate a Survey Monkey, does it come with a QR code?
Don't know what survey monkey does.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it has forwards. So we use Microsoft Office.
Okay.
That has a lot more functionality than.
Nice.
I got another question. If it gets sent out and it doesn't get filled out, can Survey Monkey be sent out again a week later to the people that didn't fill it out to try to hit them again?
I think it's a cost thing.
Is it?
Not with Microsoft Office.
Oh, no. Oh, gotcha. Okay.
We
Yeah.
use the forms we've already paid for it, so it's just.
So
a
they may
matter
be
of
on
reposting.
vacation.
Put on there that, you always make sure you limit.
Yeah.
To one, item.
Okay,
So what you're saying is you can put it out multiple times through social media, but if the same person at the same IP address tries to take it twice, they can't do that.
No, I understand that part.
Yeah.
I'm talking about if you miss that email or you miss that,
Right.
is there a way for it to get sent kind of as a reminder, hey, you haven't taken this, would you like to take it?
Push it out again.
Push it out again.
Push it out a couple of
I mean,
times.
there's people, gonna be people on vacation in May, June, I just.
Sure. That's common. We've done that, haven't we, Brent? I mean, with our
Yeah,
other
we
services.
pushed out, I mean, I don't know, I can't track. I mean.
expect that from this meeting.
And further, I can see. I respond, but I don't know when I set it up.
Mhm.
I mean, you're not gonna be able to track that unless you
Okay.
know specific. That's it, those email letters.
Okay.
Not like people, so Facebook.
Yeah, okay.
I wouldn't be
Just-
worried about that.
Just an idea. I know, just,
You won't get emails from me, I mean, I'm sure I'm in your spam.
I just hate to miss that one person that
Yeah.
wanted to fill it out
I
and
think it
they,
would
and
be-
they could have given us a lot of good information.
Yeah, I don't think that there's any reason we can push it
Okay.
twice.
Yeah, well, I'll, you know.
Just
I
a
know.
question for my own clarification. What was the survey that was sent out by WSU that was a booklet form? What survey was that? It was like a
Long ago.
booklet.
They got- that-
was
Yeah.
it?
You've been around a while.
Yeah,
2019,
Hugo Wall Youth Group.
yeah. What was, I'm just asking, what was the topic? That's not the aquatics one he's talking about. Was that
That was
is that a different one?
strategic.
Oh, okay. I didn't like that one. It just felt like more of a commitment, to fill it out. Yeah. So I like your idea about streamlining.
Okay,
What date are you looking at, Neil? I'm sorry.
well, we had the dates up and our next meeting is the 2nd, May 2nd. So do we want to look at last week in
Yeah, let's.
April? 24th, 25th?
Yeah, I need to have. Yeah, that'd be fine. Yeah, if I have the information, say by the 24th,
Which is Wednesday.
say the 24th.
Better write that down there. Great. Okay,
Let me ask this, how would you like to, would you guys, what you submit to me, would you like that in the agenda so everybody can see how everybody's responses are? Or would you like me to compile it? What would be helpful?
You can, it's whatever's easiest for you, because I'm assuming it's your busy season. Like, I'm assuming this is a very busy season for you. So I think, you can, I don't know, you guys have thoughts before I don't want to talk too much. Do you have thoughts before?
I think the way you did before was kind of just compile and, rather than go, Tina answered this way. And,
Yeah, I don't think.
because it could be that
We
we're
could try to
several.
do a two-tier setup. Okay.
That idea,
I
yeah.
would like to see whatever you come up with maybe in that packet, just so we can review.
Just do it as a
Not
draft.
that this is not an issue, it's just, it'd be nice to have it, that's all. Okay.
You can always, what I was going to say was, like, if you do it in Word or in PDF, you can just put comments over to the side. And so if it was a specific comment, I don't think you have to quote anybody, but you can just say, it suggested we eliminate this, or, or this was a suggested addition or something. You can do that just as notes, but I just wouldn't spend a lot of time on it whenever
Very good.
I know I'm busy. I imagine you are.
Thank you.
Okay, so, new business, any new business? Cool. Okay. Board member reports, Andy?
The only thing I would like to mention is to express my condolences to Jim Detweiler's family. I think he had a huge influence in this town. I had the privilege to work for him in the late 90s. Great guy, has great intentions. He set up something for or at least his family anyway, set up something for the new rec center, so hoping to see where all that goes. All I have.
Tina?
No, I don't think so. Neil and I are, we're working on a little project to hopefully help serve the board, and we'll work on that afterwards, but we're not at the point where we're ready to prepare anything yet. One pager.
Okay. Right?
How close are we on trying to design the Frisbee golf pads? Does that kind of just get tabled for a while, or is that still in the, the disco, yeah.
As far as designing them?
But yeah, just like, where are we at as far as, getting the volunteers to see if we can't put something together and go out there and put some.
We haven't done anything on that.
Okay,
as of right now.
Okay.
So,
Your task as vice chair.
No, it is. Start strong arming people.
yeah,
I do know, I've talked to Brent, and there's gonna be basically that whole east portion of the disc golf's gonna have to get torn up. So
Yeah.
I think doing anything now is probably should wait unless you did the first 6 holes or something, and then did the later, whatever, is that an 18 hole? If you go the opposite way, it's 18, so maybe the first 4.
Well, you just
You just do it
You just go
twice
back
and
around.
the
Yeah,
baskets
or just do
change.
it. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just,
As far in Torham, because you're talking about the road that's going to
Yeah,
continue.
yeah.
And how soon is that going to start? Yeah.
This summer, fall.
Oh, okay. So is that
So we
close?
could get back on it after the first of the year, maybe?
Mhm.
I mean, and
I was just thinking, when you're like, I don't know, how many other things do I have going on? I don't know. You got a lot going on. Yeah, well, that's a
we
good
don't
way
want to add any
look
more
at it.
work to you, Neil, but I think it would be neat to see that improved. And especially if you have volunteer help and even volunteer dollars.
Yeah.
You know, and let us run with it kind of thing, you know, but.
Yeah.
I
I think that's something we could
Yeah.
discuss a little further and see
Yeah,
how we can help facilitate working with you
The
guys
public.
on that project. If that's a volunteer project that you guys want to take on and run with, it'd be great.
Good evening,
Good evening.
board members. And so, actually, this past Tuesday, during the city council meeting, they did pass and approve the Harvest Place subdivision for specials for the first phase. But what that also entails, though, is the design of Harvest Place, which is the subdivision in between the middle school and high school on the old Rowley property, which is approximately 134 acres, give or take. A part of that design, of course, is all the grading, the dirt work, all the drainage. That has to happen first before even any of the infrastructure with roads, water, sewer is digging out those roughly 18 acres of ponds that will actually take that storm water, hold it, and then actually move it south through the golf course and those ponds, and then actually through McLaughlin south to 5th Street, where that pump station will then pump that water from that entire area, eventually as it trickles through, then to the ditch itself. And so, with the grading master plan, that's why I say, it could be sometime this summer, fall. It all depends upon once they get into the full design of the grading plan itself for Harvest Place. That may include this area of Emporia that would connect 5th or 85th, depending upon who you want to talk to. Jim Detweiler would have definitely said 85th, and so in his own. And then all the way to 93rd Street is where that's going to go. And so that's why, I would really hold off on any decisions, when it comes to putting any permanent, surface or concrete or anything right now, because we've waited this long. So just a little bit longer, I think is going to be great. I did want to let you know too, in that same breath, we're getting quotes on the design for that 62-acre park that will, of course, include a disc golf course as well. So, we're getting some quotes from landscape architect companies to help us, see that $1 million budget come to fruition. And so, who knows if there might be some cost savings of maybe purchasing things as a group price when it comes to different baskets, if you want to upgrade those, because we made a decision to paint those and what have you. So there's some economies of scale there that we'll want to explore as well, and also talk with our local residents. Hopefully, the one that is the first ever inducted into the Disc Golf Hall of Fame in Kansas, seeing if they have some thoughts as well. So,
Perfect.
That's a local. That was elected. Wow, that's cool. I didn't read that.
Who was that?
Read the paper carefully.
I don't recall the name.
There's a signed disc in Nick's barber shop, I believe. So go ahead and
He was one of the original designers, right? I think he did designing it as well as played, correct?
he played. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He's
Okay.
the first ever inductee.
Hmm.
Was he not, Neil?
Yeah.
Yes.
There was an article in the paper, and I just don't remember.
I didn't read that.
Check out your local Ark Valley News.
Brent, before you leave, I have a question about the 62-acre park. We had discussed the theme of that park being like a more of a outdoor or more of a natural setting versus, whatever an architect comes up with. So have those thoughts been sent to architects? I mean, it's been a while since we talked about it, but we had talked about, a pioneer theme for like the playground equipment, those type of things. Will we have any feedback on that, or?
Yeah, we're just getting prices on, how much it would cost to help. Right now, we just have a concept. We don't have any, design. We don't have really any good TV. So just
Okay.
for a company to help us through that process, LK Architecture, was brought on early just during the concept
Right.
phase, and we just haven't brought anything back up. So I mean, that's all the conversation we've had is
Okay.
just getting a price from a company and saying, hey, is it going to be $5,000 fee? Is it a $10,000
Okay.
fee? Is it free?
Well,
Is it what is? That's all the conversation that I've had.
okay, because I think we would like to be involved in,
100%.
like,
yours.
natural, native grasses, native trees, those type of things.
Oh yeah, all that stuff.
Bring into that. Okay, I just wanted to double check on that.
No, it'll just be more or less, the sidewalks, making
Yeah.
sure, if they're dog park, how much is all this going to cost, giving us good prices, things like that.
How much actual acreage of usable land.
Exactly.
Kind of the macro concepts.
Because all the grading, if you haven't driven by, if you haven't had, east out of town, then you may not have seen there's a little bit of dirt moving. So there, you can really start seeing that park area shaping up now. So drive down Seneca, in between 85th and 77th, and you'll really start seeing where that park is. I just drove down there this afternoon, and it's looking really nice.
Well, thank you, sir, for the update. Maybe we should put you in as, staff reports, but no, sir.
Bill Paulson was the local gentleman.
Okay,
And
Good for him.
he wasn't the original one that helped design it, but he did have a lot of influence over the years of helping us do some redesign on it at different times. And he's the one that he was a shop teacher, and his class was the one that built those disc golf baskets. And we purchased it through them.
Oh, wow, okay.
I think he was from Dale or I think it was Andale High School or something.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
anything else, Ray?
No, I think it's it.
I wanted to just briefly, because last time we were talking about my little project of meridian trees, the idea of large, medium, small, given like A, B, and C type of thing. And this is still a work in progress, but I've taken all the houses and
Nice.
and split them up into like A's are small trees, B's are medium trees, and C's are large trees. Then kind of got a category of D, which is on some of the private properties we would have, they could have a small tree or they could have a medium or large tree. It's whatever they want in there. So ROW is a right of way, PP is private property, and the NTR and X is like, the X were the trees that were actually designated as removal by PEC. And then the NTR were the trees, marked to be removed, and the NTR was no tree removed as designated. I mean, it wasn't designated to be removed, but we removed it, I guess.
This is amazing. Ron.
It's awesome. I am blown away.
Hours.
Yeah, this is.
Golly.
And as I said, it's still a work in progress. And I did have, and I won't, it's no reason to get into the weeds here, but I do, since this is on Excel, I was able to split it up into like A's and Bs and Cs on the list. So we could easily go to all the A list and send them the small tree groups. So, I mean, we're getting there.
This is awesome.
What's S2 stand for?
That just means it's a small tree, 2 small trees.
And then the X was because there was 2 taken out.
Yes,
So there's
Mark-
gonna be replaced.
Mark Street for the, yep.
yes.
Great, I'll make sure I let my parents know. Not yet, Roger?
Not yet. Tell them we will be in touch with them probably. I mean, as soon as all of the big drainage things are off of their front yard.
Probably have a better idea after the curb and guttering really gets
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
Sidewalks, so yeah.
I was there Friday and I just,
There's so much going on
Yeah,
those
yeah,
properties, as you
yeah, yeah.
well know, because you've got family there, but
Yeah.
it's,
it's incredible. And
it's gonna be challenging to find spots on those properties to locate trees. So what you may hope to put a bur oak on may result in a smaller, a medium-sized tree instead, or you might have slated for 2 trees in an area and you only have really room for 1. Due to certain conflicts with utilities, dropping them right in on top, wouldn't be advisable. But this is kind of the hope. This is what we have
Yeah.
seen so far. This is operating with the information that we have at hand, and our best guess at what we expect to try to put back.
thank you.
You guys need any help door knocking or whatever, however this goes about?
At some point in time, I
Yeah,
think that would be helpful.
I would like to
The
help
next
out.
steps are going to include, really sitting down, connecting things down
Yeah.
with Brent on budget and reviewing the process with KDOT, how we need to follow that, purchasing the trees, and approaching the public at somewhere in that process as well, giving them some, here's what's coming next, kind of the next steps type thing that we want to iron out and make sure we're all on the same page before we do that, staff. And then thereafter, looking, start to look down the road at securing and purchasing those trees, and contractor to install.
Just one real quick thing I want to emphasize too. This has a list of trees that weren't removed, but I felt that if we wanted to develop that canopy again, we needed to convince some of these homeowners that they needed a tree in their front yard. For instance, if you look at the house at 507, it's right on that west side. It's a category D, which 2 trees in there, a small one, right-of-way tree, and then maybe a large one right in his private property, so we could eventually have the canopy, because that's a big, wide open sunspot.
It is.
So that's what some of that the NTR is, that no trees were removed there, but we want to try to get trees put back in there. That's kind of, I was a little tongue-tied when I was explaining that earlier.
Well, and to update you a little further, I guess, in addition to this is just focuses on 5th to Main on Meridian. The project also includes areas down south on the southern portion that we want to try to address. And, Brett and I've had some preliminary discussions of how we might handle this. With, contracting some of the planting on the Meridian side, and as a cost savings measure, having our staff work on doing some of the planting down south. So haven't ironed out all those details, but those are some types of things that we're looking at doing to try to stretch our dollars further, but also not overstretch my staff, but logistically looking at how we handle these things. Kind of give you all some perspective on this.
Definitely keep you all posted on how things are happening there. And I do appreciate one final thing. I appreciate Jim Detweiler for helping me. Last year I went around, he and I went around and we took an inventory of all the trees in parks. So we have that inventory. So we can kind of get an idea of what our diversity is and where we need to maybe introduce some different species, and just the conditions of those trees. We had, I guess it was fun. 2 days he was able to get a golf cart from the golf course, and we buzzed around the city in golf cart and had discussions on trees and stuff. So
That with Pepsi.
no, actually, it was just, yeah. At that time, it was just with his oxygen container. But I do appreciate, the help he had there, and he would, when there was something he didn't like, we all heard about it, which is okay. Anyway, wanted to put that on record that he helped out with the tree inventory for the park system.
There was actually a former member of the originally tree board years and years ago. So served in many subcommittees and boards, I think planning, zoning boards or something like that for a while. And invested public landscape, parks.
Okay, well, that's all I had. Neil, do you have?
Real
I
quick,
really don't have anything
back
additional.
to Roger, just real quick. Is there a way to be able to get that list? So then when a tree is removed, in the parks, the one that Jim and you.
Yeah,
And
I
just
think
keep
I'm
it
the-
up, keep it up to
Yeah.
date, because it could get out of line. quick.
it's,
So-
I need to go back
Yeah.
in because some of the ones we planted, the little bitty ones that we planted have disappeared because they didn't
Yep.
make it. And that's kind of one of my goals this summer is to go around and update things.
And if possible, you can share it with us.
Sure,
I mean,
sure.
just so we all would have it, and then,
It will be in
Yeah.
the OSB file.
okay.
Were you able to go to the Tree City recognition?
I went to the, I didn't go to the Thursday one, which was the actual ceremony of, but they had like a field trip up to Dick Arboretum, and I had a walk around there, and that was pretty cool. That's nice. And a lot of native stuff, native plants that we got for the library came from Dick Arboretum. And they helped design the butterfly garden there at the big library.
A lot of those plants.
So, but
23 years.
23 years, we're Tree Cities.
Accomplishment.
Yeah, it is.
So, I wasn't able to make it for like the second year in a row, which was kind of bad, but
A goal for me, but it's always my busy time at home.
Yeah.
We're at full tilt busy time of the year, so it's hard to go, but we appreciate your service. That's how you get our designation, because you go around in a golf cart and you take inventories and build canopies and all that.
well, I like trees.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess while we're talking about trees and tree surveys, we were selected tree inventory Forest Service. Volunteer led, I guess. wasn't it? If I
Yeah.
remember correctly, volunteer led street tree inventory by the Kansas Forest Service. So Tim McDonald is the gentleman that runs currently in Kansas Forest Service, is our district representative, and he reached out to me and emailed me about that. Asked if we had interest in doing that, and I said, sure, that'd be great. We'd love to have another street tree inventory.
The last one we had was 2003 when Tim and I went around and did it. You were involved?
Yeah.
I don't remember that. You were a young whippersnapper at that time.
At least you remember that.
But, yeah, and they said there at the meeting Wednesday that it would probably be this summer sometime that they would get that together.
That's a really big deal for people that don't know that. That's, I mean, good deal for getting that.
So what do they donate their time and they just identify all the trees that the city has? And
Well, they go street tree, basically. It's the, the trees that are right along the
Essentially anything
right away.
Okay.
And,
and that's for the whole city of Valley Center?
yeah, they cruise.
Really?
All the streets.
Really?
process. A lot of stuff.
It's changed a little bit since
And then
2003.
they report data back. I mean, they take an estimate of how big the tree is, diameter, the species, the value there. I think they have value added in there. They, I mean, there's
Wow.
condition of the tree. They give us a simple estimate. If I
Next-
remember right,
next-
we
Next
did
time I'll bring the report that we did in the tree.
nothing that's come of that.
That about, I think I might remember.
It was a Forest Service, National Forest Service grant.
And Tim Safe funding just did not, they overestimated. There wasn't enough to really get out to the communities like they had originally hoped to, or something like that. It was kind of a lot of money is supposed to be there.
It didn't
I
get
think
to
actually
the Forest Service.
Yeah.
It got
Didn't actually make it.
someplace
So,
else.
And as a side note, Tim McDonald will be retiring as our
May.
next forester. He's also kind of another icon of people. Greens industry for many, many years.
Yeah.
He's been an extension agent. He's a forester. Also another influential person in my days. Very helpful. to the
You gonna
community.
share this with them? I think this is pretty impressive. Whenever they come to that inventory, I think it's nice to show them some of the next steps and say, come back. Our numbers will be different. Any indication, you said that's an honor to have. Any indication on why we were chosen?
I think it's because we've been squeaky about one-on-one in the past.
Oh.
Tim, I think Tim has just kind of kept his eyes open, for opportunities for us. We've talked about that for probably 4 or 5 years now, off and on with him. So,
I remember actually calling Tim about it, and Jim probably called too. There's a half a dozen people that called in, and I think that's just it. It's the squeaky wheel on the.
All right.
It's the, and not that I'm sending kudos to me, but it's just a good. I love being able to see what we have, because if 10% of our tree population's ash, and they're going to be dead in 10 years,
Yeah.
we better probably act now on what we're going to do.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah, and we are at, I think, around 21% tree canopy for the city. And, they're taking a lot of land that's actually city, but they haven't, it's not the streets, it's also, like 77, Ford and 85th and like that, that's, doesn't have any trees on it. So that's, Wichita, I think, was 23%. So that kind of gives you an idea of the percent canopy for cities around here. So
we weren't bad.
we're kind of in that
We'd
ballpark.
like to be better. We'd like to be more. I'd like to see that number 25, 26%. I think that'd be.
So that's what we're working on.
That's all I had.
Okay.
Thank you.
Oh my
Did you
gosh.
have something?
Actually, I just received an email that I was curious if I could get this committee's opinion on. I don't want to make the only decision. And since we haven't had a pool rec steering committee for
Been a while.
a little while, which I got to change that, and we'll get a tour for the ones that's done that as well, which is everyone.
Everybody but Ray.
Yeah.
Which,
He can be honorary.
Please invite me.
need your help. So we're working on the splash pad, right, in Lions Park. that is actually underway. Nobody's seen that drive by. So we have, a mural slated for that. That's already, been in the budget, all those things for the shed. And so you're the first ones to see this. I mean, I just got it. Here's one of the designs. This is kind of where it would go along on the south side of the shed. We thought that this would be a good opportunity. There'll be, concrete all the way up to it. A spot for selfies or whatever that folks will be able to use. Of course, the splash pad in Lions Park will be unique in the fact that it will have two gates. One gate that's in the pool itself, that's connected inside the pool. So when the pool's open, that gate's going to be open. So then you'll have to pay for entry when you're in the pool area. And then the gate that's actually on the far east side of the fence, if you're looking at the square, the rectangle, it's kind of a unique shape. But the one that's on the east side that faces the parking lot and the sidewalk to the east, that street, Allen, Colby.
No, it's that,
No, which way? On the east.
Evelyn.
No,
That's west.
that's what kind of where? East side of the pool.
East side of the pool is
Colby, yeah.
Can I say Colby?
Alan.
Colby. That faces Colby. That one would then be shut. And then when the pool is closed, which I mean is closed majority of the time, then the one going into the pool will be shut, and then that one will be open. It'll be free to the public. And of course, the splash pads are open later into the year when we lose our lifeguards to the school year. So that's kind of what we thought. Should this be a standalone type of a mural spot, but tie into what we already have, at the outdoor.
So this would be on the side that's facing like the library and the museum center? Okay.
Or here's one that would be kind of its own standalone one as well.
I like number one.
Yeah, I like
Usually have the
pool. I mean, that emphasizes.
thoughts.
It makes sense, yeah.
I didn't read that. I'm sorry. Sorry, it's been.
It just, this one has,
It's been
this is
fun.
what it is.
Yeah, it's a pool.
Yeah,
It's-
makes sense. It's
Yeah, yeah.
water.
And that's pretty consistent with a lot more of the animals and the sea animals and different things that they've got.
Yeah, they finally got something to me.
I'm just gonna say the exact same thing I said before. The creature on the left looks pokey and scary, and I wish they would replace it with something that looked more like Dory or something, or Dora. It to me it looks edgy. But I said that the last time, and I'm not sure they listened, so I'll
They
say-
changed it.
They
It's a
did?
hammerhead.
They didn't put any sharp.
Hammerhead.
I think
Yeah.
it's a hammerhead, isn't it?
What is that?
That's
That's
a
just
marlin.
it's a marlin.
Swordfish.
Yeah,
That's a
swordfish.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that can kill people.
Or a sailfish. It can.
Yeah.
If it jumps in your boat when you're trying to fish it and kill it. So
Which I won't do that
defending
either.
itself.
Did I just see
But-
TikTok with through somebody's leg?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just think something soft and age appropriate for a splash pad, which would be children under the age of 5.
I think if there was a,
Dolphin.
I think
a dolphin. I think they put a dolphin.
A dolphin would be good.
Dolphin would be great.
no,
Starting
it's,
it out with the dolphin.
Yeah.
There you go.
Thank you. I'm sorry, but if you're gonna have it as a
Right,
selfie
that's fair.
station, yeah,
I said
They
nothing.
want flipper.
I didn't say it.
you can.
I don't know if I like the Ferris wheel. If it changes, then we gotta paint it. And
Yeah, I
I don't know if I want. I don't know. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, from
Although we
unless
have it everywhere.
but it's vinyl. If you look at anything I put that thing on besides the city flag, it's vinyl.
Oh,
You peel that off of the
I-
other side's vinyl.
I was like, could that ever change?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Do we just have the 2 to choose from?
I'm sorry. Yeah.
No, that's okay. I was just asking. I'd look at every card in the aisle. I'd look at every greeting cards. I was just asking if those are
This
the only
this
2.
area is slightly shaded. Not seeing any. We're seeing the trees up against Colby. But isn't there some trees?
There's a few trees out from where the sand volleyball are.
Yeah, okay.
But they're
Probably
over
cut down.
to the,
No.
kind of slightly west, maybe.
Okay. So it's gonna be pretty open. It's gonna be visible to people
Yeah.
driving by.
Very open.
Day.
It's been a month.
You must have had a month.
Is there security cameras in that park? Okay. Because I keep hearing about the lion getting his face painted, so I guess I'm looking at something that costs money.
Oh.
That's going to be also graffiti. So
Big fence.
yeah.
The fence coming off. Is it up this
Right
corner?
off the.
Oh, okay.
Corner there.
And then is there going to be lights cascading on it at night or anything, or to illuminate it? Yeah.
There will be.
Okay.
Very well lit, so it gives lots of light to graffiti.
Be
Hopefully-
fluorescent, right?
Yeah. Hopefully not.
Get that
So the fish will come out
Yeah.
at night and attack.
Maybe you do need to leave the swordfish on there to protect the wolf.
I just, for whatever reason, the second one, I choose the first. I mean, I prefer the first. The second one, I don't know why, but the second one triggers memories of, it's very vintagey, and it actually triggers memories of me going to the pool back like in the 70s. I don't know, was any of the design or the decor have like the diamond design?
It's still there. It's actually
Yeah.
inset into the block on the front
It's
face.
in the block.
Yeah.
Probably was
So-
painted a different color. Neil had painted all of that.
Probably
beige.
lead paint back then. No, I'm just kidding. It
Oh,
was the 70s, but I'm just
Still is,
saying.
actually.
But I don't know. That gives me warm, fuzzy feelings because I've been here a long time, but I don't have a preference over the two. I just wanted to give acknowledgement to the designer for bringing
I
back
think
that
it's
feel.
okay. Both of them are amazing as well.
Yeah.
We appreciate whoever put that together.
Yeah, I'm just giving you a hard time about your brown. Well, okay. So yeah, trying to just wrapping these up, so then hopefully probably won't be done by Memorial. But the splash pad itself will be open by Memorial weekend. I'm not putting any guarantees on it.
Well, thank you for sharing that with us.
On the pool house, I think where you brought up the good point about the Ferris wheel. I don't think that they have it on the pool house either. They just says Valley Center, if I remember right.
Yeah.
Did you say they were going to try and do that vinyl, or were they going to paint that part? At all?
No, they're gonna paint that. So I'm gonna try to just match whatever they have on.
Yeah,
On
the
that
pool
other-
I was
house.
a little
Yeah,
confused when somebody was mentioning vinyl and paint. I thought they painted the rest of the pool.
they did.
Yeah, no, I was talking about where the Ferris wheel is at throughout the city.
It's
It's
in vinyl.
vinyl.
It's vinyl.
And so like on the welcome sign, it's vinyl. On other,
peeled off.
it's all vinyl that we can peel off. If we ever change the logo, then we're not married to it. The state of Kansas isn't going to change, and so that's why the welcome signs like that.
Are you saying you could break the brand? You could break that logo?
Yes,
For
absolutely. Yeah, it's
this?
on the water tower. It's not on the. No,
I think I would be
We
fine
can go
with
into
that.
great
It seems a
detail
little
about
busy
things.
to me.
Okay.
leave it at the hour.
Yes. Well, I was hoping that we'd get out here, but
Looks good. I like it.
I appreciate you giving
Like
us that
colors.
update. Yeah, so do flipper and get rid of the Ferris wheel. Our recommendation. Okay, any other items to come before our board? Okay, next meeting, we should have had a correction to the agenda, but it's May 2nd, not April 4th. And it's because it's a two-page. So do I have a motion to adjourn?
A motion to adjourn.
1 second.
And motion second to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye, aye, aye. Thank you very much.